Hi, I'm here today to teach you how to make my version of elderberry syrup. There are a lot of different ways to make elderberry syrup, but this is the way I've been taught, and so I figured I would teach you how to do it too. There's a couple different steps, but it's super easy and quite gentle. I don't know how else to say it. So welcome, and I'm going to get started. I may have to improvise with one hand at times, but other than that, we're going to see what we can get. So I'm going to put you down and get going. Okay, so there's my daughter Lily.
Hi.
Hi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first of all the way I use, these are elderberries. These are dried elderberries. See if I can make this happen for you guys. Little dried up, looks like little raisins, little dried berries. And then I use elderberries and I use elderflowers. That's what this is. And they're dry. You can buy these dry as well. They each have their own different additions, but elderflowers, just for your information, they're known along with elderberries. Okay. I got it for right now. When I need help over here, Lee, I'll let you know. Everybody's helping me. I'm so blessed. So elderflowers are used when you get a cold. Like you can take those elderflowers and you can actually just brew them into a tea and drink that when you have a cold. Elderflower with peppermint, and brew that into a tea. And it helps with cold. It helps with your respiratory system. The elderberries have bioflavonoids, I think. I cannot speak the language of science all the time, but they have an additional vitamin C property, and you're able to, so the benefit of the two of them, they go together. That's why I think mine is a little different. I got children moving in and out, but that's the home of a homeschooler. So I'm going to show you what I do. I actually don't cook it on the stovetop to make it. I actually steep it in boiling water for 6 to 12 hours, and then I strain it, reduce it, add the honey, and then partake of it. So I just wanted to show you how I do that and go through that a little bit. So what I've done is I actually have some elderberries. I have 3 tablespoons of elderberries and 3 tablespoons of elderflowers in here. I'm going to actually add one more. So I have 4 altogether of each. So 4 tablespoons of flowers, 4 tablespoons of berries. Now this is the easiest part of the whole experience. So I take that, and all I do is pour boiling water over top of it. Lily?
Yeah.
There you go. And that's what I got. And it's super hot because it's boiling, but see how all the berries and the flowers float to the top? So what I often do is I just kind of will stick a spoon in there and just kind of stir things around. They'll still rise to the top, but at least it kind of gets things stirred around. Don't shake it. Ooh, I have made that mistake so many times. Put your lid on, your lid and ring, just like that, and you're done. So that's going to sit in the water like that for, like I said, 6 to 12 hours. I often will make it and at night and then leave it overnight, and then I finish it in the morning. Okay? So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is here it is, all done. So all the berries and the flowers have steeped together. I don't know if you can see at the very bottom the flowers. Anyway, so what I do now is, I know this is a little difficult to see. See if we can move it down a little. Oh, there's Lily. Let's see if we can move it down just a little bit. So then step 2 is to strain it. So I have my very fine mesh strainer, and I just pour the juice in like that. And then as the berries and the flowers come out, See how that is? I press those out even more because you want to get all the juice and stuff. They're a little dry. Like obviously you want them to be dry. That was a silly thing to say. So then you just kind of keep adding those berries and flowers through there. I would have. Oh, Lily's
Something's wrong with it.
It's okay, honey. It's okay.
Oh,
Okay, it's fine. Thank you. So I just do that. I would put probably a little more effort in, and when I'm finished doing this video, I will put a little more effort in. But that's all I do. And so then you're left, let's see if I can show you what this looks like. See if it's the dark pot. So then I have the juice in here, and all I'll do is take the juice and put it here on the stove. Lily, thank you for your help. And I'll just reduce this by half. That gives me a concentrate or a syrup. Ta-da, there's your syrup. After that, after I've reduced this by half, I have already made some concentrate. You can call it syrup, concentrate, but it's reduced by half. Let me see if I can get it open. I should have made that happen first. I take my juice and I put it in another quart jar. This makes about 3 cups. And so normally what I would do, this would be hot because it's reduced, you know, and hot, then boiling, kind of simmering for about 45 minutes to reduce it. You don't want it to be a really hot reduction. You want it to be a gentle simmer, so you're not burning it. So it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to do that. After that, you have your reduction, which is this. So you get about 2 cups. See, I did that right. It's 2 cups. Let it cool. You want it to be cooler when you add the honey because honey has all these enzymes in it. So you want the honey to retain all those enzymes. So once it's cool, room temperature, a little above, you just don't want it to be boiling like what it just came out. You want to add a good honey, not something from the grocery store because they just don't have good honey. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. I can prove it, but I'm not going to right now. So then I just add a cup of honey and I just kind of eyeball it. I keep an eye on my jar because my jar has numbers on it. I just eyeball my honey and then just kind of spin it, and that's it. And then it's just a matter of mixing up. You can kind of see the honey at the bottom. And it's just a matter of being gentle and mixing the honey in with your elderberry juice. And that's it. That's how quickly it goes. I mean, those are the parts of having how to make elderberry syrup. But it's super easy. If you want to, and when you're done with this, you need to store it in the refrigerator. The honey will help to keep it preserved. Add its enzymes. You have the elderberries and the elderflowers in here. But you can also add a half a cup of brandy to this. That will help also preserve it, but brandy also has its healing properties as well. So it's up to you. If you don't want to add the brandy, you don't have to. I tend not to, but it's just another bonus. And that's it. That's how you make elderberry syrup. It's done. I've got all this honey mixed in, and then it's done. That's how easy it is. It's super easy to make your own elderberry syrup. So I appreciate you watching. Oh, there's Robin. How much would you, I would suggest taking a tablespoon a day. If you end up getting a cold or you're starting to come down with something, you want to take let's see, I think it's a tablespoon or 2, depending on how you want. I tend to go a little heavier, like 1/4 of a cup, quite frankly, about once an hour. It's up to you. It can't really hurt you. So when I got sick last week, I was taking it at least 4 times a day, and when I thought about it more, and I think it broke my cold faster than the one I had back in December. December I was doing, I didn't do elderberry syrup. I did some, but not as much as I did this last one. And the one before lasted longer than this last one. Could have been just a different type of cold, or I got it faster. I don't know, but I was really thankful that it didn't last as long as the previous one. Any other questions? Oh, I got 2 people here now. You're welcome. I'm glad you watched this. So you're going to boil water. You add 4 tablespoons each of elderberries, dried elderflowers. Steep it for 6 to 12 hours, or overnight is what I do. Then you strain it, reduce it by half on the stovetop in a gentle simmer, and then you just cool that down, and then add a full cup of honey, good raw honey, local is best, and just mix it together. If you want to add a half a cup of brandy just for the extra spunk and kick, go for it. But you will end up with a little bit more. If you do that, you would end up with about 3.5 cups of syrup, and just store it in the refrigerator and you're good to go. So hopefully that's helpful and easy, and something, I mean, if I can do it, I do it all the time, as you can see. All right, enjoy your day. Let me know if you have any other questions, or something didn't make sense. I'm happy to answer any questions. You can hashtag ask the joyful prepper. How about that? All right, enjoy your day. Bye.